into different farms upstate Florida to buy a sheep or a lamb, a little baby sheep in the first year, or a goat. Bezrat Hashem, we're taking it up soon to Yerushalayim, Bezrat Hashem, because on Wednesday afternoon, Bezrat Hashem, the Korban Pesach, we're going to all bring the Korban Pesach from Hero. We are now on Lamid Amud Bet, that's 30b. Near the top, by the two dots. The first word on the line is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 14 lines from the top. Thank you. Omer Rabbi Yehuda b'rei Rav Shmuel Bashilat Mishmei de Rav. Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Shmuel Bashilat, said in the name of Rav, Bikshu Chachamim Lignoz Sefer Kohelet. The Chachamim wanted to bury the Sefer Kohelet that Shlomo HaMelech wrote, because although every single word is precious in the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but the words seemingly contradict each other and people would not understand. So why didn't they end up burying it? Because the beginning started with Torah and the end starts with Torah. So Rashi says, and all the more so that there's more Torah in the middle between those two. So even though there's contradictions, but there's so much Torah there that they couldn't do it. The beginning starts off Ma Yitron la'adam b'chol ha'malot sheya'amol tachat ha'shamash. What Ma Yitron, what you said? What benefit? Thank you. For a person to toil tachat hashemesh, under the sun. And the Beit Medrash of Rabbi Yana, they understood that to mean like this: tachat hashemesh hu de'en lo, kodem shemesh yesh lo. That's under the sun. If you toil in things under the sun, which means things that come after the sun, then there's no benefit. But things that precede the sun, like the Torah preceded the world, then there is a tremendous benefit. That's what the pasuk is teaching us. All toil is futile besides the toil of Torah. So for Divrei Torah, and the end of Kohelet also has Torah. Tichtiv sof davar hakol nishma. At the end of every matter, everything is heard. Et ha'elokim yirah, vet mitzvotav shemor. And it's mitzvotav you shall guard, kizeh kol ha'adam, because that is all of man. My kizeh kol ha'adam, what does that mean? This is the whole man. Amar Rabbi Elazar, kol ha'olam kulo lo nivra ela b'shvil zeh. It means, kizeh kol ha'adam, this is all purpose of man. The whole world was created for nothing but this. For what? To fear Hashem and to guard His mitzvot. Rabbi Abba bar Kahana Amar, Shekol zeh keneged kol olam kulo. Weigh this against the whole world. Ki zeh kol adam, which means all of the world doesn't weigh this. Shimon ben Azeh omer ve'amir Shimon ben Zoma omer lo nivra kol olam kulo ela letzavot lazeh. The whole world wasn't created only to join up with this, to pair up with this man that learns Torah, keeps the mitzvot, and fears Hashem. Okay, so that's how great the end of the Kohelet is, and therefore everything in between, sandwiched between those two psukim, is filled with Torah, and they could not bury it. So why were they worried initially? Ktiv, Tov kas mischok, because the pasuk says anger is better than laughter. Uktiv, and it says lischok amarti mihulal. To laughter I said mihulal. It's nothingness. So, excuse me. L'schok amachti mehulal, to what? It's praiseful. Now I was thinking of holulut for a second. Mehulal means like halil. We exalt it, we praise it. So one pasuk he seems to be scorning laughter. He says, even anger is better than laughter. And the next other pasukim he says, schok, laughter is full of praise. Ktiv, another contradiction. V'shibachti ani et simcha. I have praised the joy. Uchtiv l'simcha mazu osa. What does joy bring? What does it do? Make up your mind. Did you praise it, or are you saying what does it do? Lo kashe. And the Gemara says the answer to these questions as follows. Tov kas. Anger is better than laughter. Tov kas sheko'es HaKadosh Baruch Hu al tzadikim ba'olam hazeh. The anger that Hashem shows to the tzaddikim in this world is better. Mischok shemisachek HaKadosh Baruch Hu al rishayim ba'olam hazeh. It's better than the laughter that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives to the rishayim in this world. They're laughing to the bank. They're laughing with their pleasures. You know what's better than that? The anger and the wrath and the judgment that Hashem gives to the tzaddikim in this world. When you see tzaddikim suffer, we see tzaddikim are suffering now. Many people in Klal Yisrael. That is better. There's tremendous hope in this Gemara here. You have to know, a Jew has to know, that that's even greater than all the joy that the Rishayim have in this world. Why is that? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them a moment of joy here. It's just like all the 90 years, 100 years, 120 years of a Russia's laughter is just like one little quick laugh. Ha! So that he can drive them from the Olam Haba, the real world, and the real pleasures. But when a tzaddik, HaKadosh Baruch Hu displays anger towards him, that's like a quick punishment so that he can give him the greatest Olam Haba and he doesn't have to suffer in the Gehenna up there. So really we don't have the right eyes to see things. We're seeing a lot of suffering, but nobody knows. This Gemara is telling you, you don't see it right. Just brace yourself, hold on tight with emunah and bitochon, and you'll see at the end that it's all for the best. The next contradiction was that he said laughter is the best. It's praiseful. The other one he said Tov kas mischok. Fine. That was Tov kas mischok. We just explained that. Now what does it mean lischok amati below? The laughter is praiseful. I thought we just spoke about the laughter of the Rishayim wasn't so praiseful. Says Gemara, that's the laughter, the real laughter of Olam Haba. Then we'll have the real laughter. Okay, then we had another contradiction. He said, I have praised the joy. And the other pasuk he said, what does joy do for a person? So the Gemara says, V'shibachti ani et simcha, I praise the joy, simcha shel mitzvah. That's the simcha of mitzvah. That's the simcha of cleaning your homes for Pesach. And you do it with a smile. And the simcha of eating matzah, and the simcha of eating maror. It said in the name of Rabbi Kiva Eger, someone asked him, it's too strong because he was eating the horseradish for the maror. There's a famous tshuva from Rabbi Kiva Eger, he writes over there. He says, if you have in mind that you be mekayim the mitzvah Kadosh Baruch Hu, you eat it, I guarantee you it's impossible to feel any bitterness. I mean, yeah, it's bitter and it's strong, but it's just so sweet, he says. That's what Rabbi Kiva Eger writes in the tshuva. He says, simcha shel mitzvah. That's the simcha of mitzvah. That's, I praise that simcha of mitzvah. And ule simcha mazu asa. Well, what does simcha do? That's the simcha she'ein shel mitzvah. The joy that doesn't come with a mitzvah, it's just having a good time. To have a good time. By the way, having a good time is sometimes a mitzvah. Because the person needs to relax in order for him to have But let's say the person he's already relaxed. He's able to do mitzvot now. He says, no, let's have more of a good time. Let's just have a good time to have a good time. That's she'einu shel mitzvah. That doesn't do anything for the person. This teaches us she'ein shchina shora. The shchina does not rest on a person. Rashi actually brings down what is simcha shel mitzvah? Hachnasat kala. And then he brings down, says the Gemara, the Lametra, this teaches you, she'ein shchina shora, the divine presence doesn't rest on a person. Lo mitoch atzvut, not through sadness. Remember that. Now we want protection. We want Hashem to be resting upon us. You can't do it, it doesn't come from sadness. Lo mitoch atzlut, no laziness. You gotta get up and get busy. Lo mitoch tzchok, and not through just plain laughter. Which means, Rashi says, a person who just laughs, his mind is not settled. Even if he's not scorning or making fun of something, still, however, you're not settled. That's actually the expression of laughter, is actually because you're not settled. You don't know what to do with the thought. It's so funny, it like shakes you. So you express it like a big, you're not in control. It's almost like a non-control. You just burst out laughing. You have to make noises coming out of you because you're not miyushav. And kalut rosh, v'lo mitoch tzchok, v'lo mitoch kalut rosh, that's scorning. That is scorning. So v'lo mitoch sicha, not through just idle chatter, v'lo mitoch dvarim b'teilim, idle chatter, v'lo mitoch dvar simcha shel mitzvah. When does Hashem rest on a person? When he rejoices with a mitzvah. Rashi says here, kigon achnasat kala. He gives that just as an example. But there are many mitzvot. Shenema, as it says, that the king asked, Ve'ata now kichuli minagin. Get me someone to play. V'hoyo kinagin aminagin. And when the orchestra, when he played, V'atihi alav yad Hashem. Then the hand of Hashem was upon him. So we see that it's a great mitzvah to have joy so that HaKadosh Baruch Hu can rest upon you. The same applies to the words of halacha. What does that mean, Dvar halacha? A person has to have joy. In order to come to the right pshat in the Gemara and the right halacha that comes out of the Gemara, he has to start off with joy. If a person goes to sleep through joy, they'll show him a good dream, Rashi says. So the Gemara says, Einis, that's over. Amarav Gidl Amarav. Didn't Rav Gidl say in the name of Rav called Tam Chacham, Sheyeshel V'nei Rabbi Ve'in Siftotav Notfot Mar Tichvena. Any Talmid Chacham that sits before his Rav and his lips don't drip with bitterness from fear, he will be scorched, he will be burnt. They will be burnt. Shenema siftotav shoshanim, notfot more over. So, and the way that the Gemara interprets that, al tiki more over, ela mar over. Al tiki shoshanim, ela sheshonim, which means siftotav, his lips, sheshonim, that are learning Torah, notfot must drip with mar over, with bitterness from fear. So we see that when, yeah.
Sorry, quick question on this comment. Is it fair to say, as a statement, that this year specifically, should not say the name of your teacher, aka let's call it the teacher for the sake of saying it, your rabbi? Can we say that?
It says rabbi, yeah. It says rabbi, yeah.
Okay, so the question I have is, when it talks the concept of bitterness, your teacher, your rabbi, technically should be a rabbi who is not here to make you nice, and on the contrary, they're supposed to be, so to speak, you know, giving you, so to speak, musar and putting you in your place. Not, hey, everything's all good, everything's all nice, you're amazing, I love you, you're the best. Meaning, their job is to guide you in that direction, even if you need to be hearing the truth constantly to put you in the right direction, to set, so to speak. That's the bitterness I'm saying. Meaning, if your rabbi's only telling you, oh, and everything you're doing is great, and da 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 da, but and so essentially it's all sweet, it's all good.
Then you'll never be
growing. The point of the rabbi is essentially to make you grow. It's not everybody. Your rabbi's not supposed to be, so to speak, your best friend. They're supposed to guide you in life, but supposed to tell you the truth and musar and put you straight. So when I read this, I look at it as bitterness should be something like a rabbi should tell you the truth, the MS. Who's to say that the rabbis, the ones that are telling you the truth, are ones the least popular ones, right? You're not supposed to.
I think what you're saying is a very true thing, but I think there might be something else here as well. I just want to finish the Gemara's teretz on this, and then I'll tell you what I think. But I think that for sure the Gemara means what you're saying as well. Let's just finish the Gemara. So the Gemara says, so we have a problem here, right? You're telling me that when you learn Torah, you have to have simcha. Then you tell me about how you have to sit in front of the rabbi. So what's the answer? So the Gemara says, "Lekasha haber rabba v'haber talmid," which means the Talmud has to be very fearful. The Rav has to be full of joy. Okay, so the Gemara says the another pshat is hava haber rabba. Both are speaking about the rabbi. V'lo kasha. Even in one person, it's not a contradiction. One is before he starts, then he should say something that brings joy. After he starts, then it has to become very serious. Before he said a shir in front of the Rabbanan, he said something that made them smile. The Rabbanan laughed, or they smiled, lifsof. At the end, yativ be'emeta. But after that, they sat in fear. He himself, sat in fear. Upatach b'shmaita, and he started. So you see here that even the rabbi has to sit with fear, according to the second answer. So therefore, you see that there's something else going on in the Gemara over here. It's not just fear of what you're going to hear from your rabbi, the Musar. So the answer. So I think what is going on is that the Torah itself. Every time you learn Torah, every single time people learn Torah, the Gemara says it's like you're accepting the Torah from Har Sinai. So you have to feel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like we say in the bracha, like you just said out loud on the computer, Baruch Atah Hashem, Hamlamed Torah L'Am Yisrael. Who's teaching us Torah right now? Who's teaching us Torah is HaKadosh Baruch Hu is teaching us Torah right now, right here. So you're standing by Har Sinai, and what happened by Har Sinai? The pasuk says that they feared Hashem. That was the greatest fear. They almost died. They died from fear. They had to keep, Kodesh Baruch had to keep resuscitating them. So when a person learns Torah, any word of Torah, even if he's not hearing Musaf from his rabbi, there has to be sit there with an ema, a fear that he is hearing the directive of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and these words are his essence. So that itself is fearful. But in order for a person to really absorb them properly, he has to have an expanded heart, a heart that's able to think and absorb. If a person sits before he opens up, he's already in a very tight, narrow state of mind, he won't be able to understand. So he first has to expand it, to smile, relaxation, technique, something happy, a joyful thing. And then he's able to put himself into that fearful state. That's the way I understand it. But of course, what you said, I think, is also very true. That he has to fear the musar that his rabbi gives him. Okay. The Av Sefer Mishnah Bikshu Lignoz, and the Sefer Mishnah they wanted to bury as well. Mishnah is, I think they call Proverbs. Shahayu dvarav sotrin zeh. I'm not even going to try to say what they call Kohelet in English. Excellistes, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'll just... Ecclesiastes, thank you. This one I think is called Proverbs, right? So they wanted to bury Proverbs. Shahayu dvarav sotrin zeh zeh, because the words seemingly contradicted each other. Why didn't they? Amri, they said, Sefer Kohelet lav einin in ve'ashkechinam taima. Didn't we delve into it and find how to answer up the contradictions? So, achanami la'einin. Let's do the same for Mishlei and figure it out. Umay dvarav sotirim zeh zeh. So what were the contradictions? K'tiv, al tan ksil kivalto. Don't answer a fool like his foolishness. Uchtiv, anek ksil kivalto. Answer him like his foolishness. So which way should it be? It's like direct contradiction. So the Gemara says, lo kasha. This is not a contradiction. One is in the words of Torah, then you can answer him exactly the way he said his foolishness, you answer him the same way back. You answer him back. But in regular mundane matters, you don't. It was this man that came before Rabbi. Amalei, ishtacha ishti, your wife is my wife. Ubanecha banai, your children are my children. You hijacked my family. Amalei, ritzoncha shetishta kos sheyayin. Would you like to drink a cup of wine? He said, sure. Shata upaka. He drank and he was gone. So did he answer him, did he say, oh no, they're not, it's not true, because this and this? No. Because he fulfilled the, al tank silki valte. Don't answer a fool like that, according to what he says. Just give him a drink of wine. I don't know exactly what happened over there. Upaka. Yeah? That's what I think happened. Same story with Rabbi Chia, similar. He said, your mother is my wife. So you're my son. Hi, son. Would you like to drink a cup of wine? Shata upaka. Same story. You know what helped Rebbe? That no one was able to make his children into mamzerim, like this guy. His prayer. Why? The Rebbe have a matzi Amar, because when Rebbe prayed Amar, he said, Yiratzon fanecha Hashem Elokeinu. Let it be the will of before you, Hashem Elokeinu. Shetatzileni hayom, you should save me today, me'azei panim, u'me'azut panim. Azei panim is people that want to harm me, brazen people. U'me'azut panim. Azut panim is, Rashi says, that I shouldn't be shamed with a bad name of mamzerut, which is az panim. A mamzer is az panim. He's a brazen faced. So let no one say that I, or my children, are azei panim, brazen, meaning they are mamzerim. And we say this every day. So now you know what to have in mind when you say it. Now, where do we find that you should answer a fool? Ki ivalto b'divrei Torah. B'divrei Torah mahi. What's the case? Ki hadiyat Rabbi Gamliel v'kadarish. Rabbi Gamliel was sitting and expounding, and he said, Atida yisha sheteled b'chol yom. A woman in the future is going to give birth every day. Shenemar, as the pasuk in Yirmiyah, Jeremiah says, Hara v'yoledet yachtav. Which means, Rashi says, on the day that she conceives, Hara, she conceives v'yoledet, to get v'yachtav, together, like a chicken. So if she has relations with her husband every day, so she'll give birth every day. Meaning, whenever she will conceive, she'll give birth quickly. And the tzura of the vlad, Rashi says, the forming of the child will be very fast. So there was a Talmud there. Liglig alav oto Talmud. There was a Talmud there that scorned it. Amar enkel chadash tachat hashemesh. There's nothing new under the sun. What do you think? When Mashiach comes, things are going to change? Let me go show you. It's already here. Nothing has to change. Meaning, he bothered himself, Rashi says, to answer him exactly like his foolish scorning. Why? Because when it comes to Torah, you want to set Torah straight. Lahamid Torah al mechono. You want to set the Torah that it should be standing correct. So therefore you bother yourself to answer him exactly in the right way. Nafak, he went at after they tanagolet. He showed him a chicken. That's what the chickens do. So therefore, it already exists. So the woman will change her nature, but it's not like to a brand new creation. Another, furthermore, he darshan. The trees will give out fruits every day. And the branch will carry va'asa peri and make fruits. Just like the branches come out every day, so too the fruits will come out every day. Ligleg olav oto talmid. Made fun of him.
Rabbi, sorry, we're talking about the Mashiach right now. Sorry.
I know, it's amazing. Amen. Omar
I want to throw in my two before I forget it, and then it goes down to the brain. Is as I read this idea of a woman is destined to bear a new child each and every day, I look at that as on a Kabbalistic level, the idea that Bina is considered Ima, is a woman. Bina in a
aim, of course, right?
Bina is where it produced the ideas of Torah thoughts and ideas. Usually when we have a new Chiddush, it's considered like a child. It's like a brand new idea for the day, so to speak, in the Kabbalistic terms. So it's saying when Mashiach comes, you're pounding out ideas, so to speak, on a daily level. Rabbi Gamliel goes, I'm sorry, but it's all that now. We can do that now.
It's here already.
And
exactly.
I think about in the Tarnegol is what wakes you up in the morning.
Lastech vivina.
Right.
Anoten lastech vivina. Beautiful. Okay, so ligleg alav oto tamid ama v'aktiv en chodesh tachat hashemesh amalei bo ve'erecha. So he said, come and let me show you dugmatam olam hazeh nafak achri tzlaf. Remember we learned the whole sugi of tzlaf, caper bush. And Rashi says there are different parts on the caper bush. There's the evyonot, the kafrisin, and the lulavin. And when one comes out, the other one's not there. Then the next one comes out, the next one's not there. Eretz Yisrael is going to produce these like loaves of bread, uklei milat, and like these very fine woolen silk clothing. Eretz Yisrael is going to produce them. Shenema yi pisat bar ba'aretz. Pisat bar means like loaves the size of your hand, and also sounds like very fine clothing, like pisat ksonet pasim that he made for. That's what Rashi says for Yosef HaTzadik. He made fun of him. Called chodesh tachat hashemesh. Let me show you the Gmatam Olam Hazeh. Nafach, he went out achvede kimeinu pitriot. He showed him all sorts of fungus and mushrooms, which are the size of your hand. They grow out in one night, and they're this shaped like these loaves. They are klei milat nivra barkura, and to show him that there's such an existence as things that come out of the ground that are like this fine wool and silk. He showed him barkura, which is this thing that grows around, this soft thing that grows around the palm tree. Rashi explains, and it grows out of the ground, and it's like this fine wool. So we have it already. Tanu Rabbanan L'Olam Yehei Adam Anvatan Ki Hillel V'al Yehei Kaptan Ki Shammai. Yaakov, you're going to be able to understand this whole Gemara. You ready? So a person should always be very humble like Hillel, and he shouldn't be Kaptan, very particular, like Shammai. Now, just want to, as a disclaimer, the Gemara is telling us, I think it's brought down as firm, this is the way we should go. That's the right way for a regular person, and even a special person, he has to take the way of Hillel. That doesn't mean that Shammai, he made a wrong turn on the exit. He took the wrong exit. Shammai is a way of serving Hashem, but for us, it's not proper. We don't know how to do it, but there has to be a Shammai in the world. And Chas v'Shalom, the Gemara is not saying that Shammai was just an angry person that didn't know how to act like Hillel. Chas v'Shalom. Maaseh b'shnei b'nei Adam shehimru zeh et zeh. There were two people that they're like betted against each other. They competed. Amru kol mi sheyelech v'yaknit et Hillel. Anybody who could get Hillel upset, Yito Dalad Me'od Zuz, will win the bet, make 400 Zuz. Amar echad me'em ani aknitenu, I'll be able to do it. Oto hayom erev Shabbat haya was erev Shabbat that day. You ever heard the story? Hillel chafaf et rosho. Hillel was scrubbing, cleaning his head. Halav alach ve'avar al petach beito. So he passed by his house. Amar mikan Hillel, mikan Hillel. Who's Hillel over here? Anybody Hillel? Nitatef. He wrapped himself. V'yatzal krato. And now, this was a tremendously scornful thing. Full of disdain because it was a tremendous disgrace. He was the Nasi of Klal Yisrael. So, anybody Hillel over here? So, Rashi says that. So he went out to greet him. Amalo b'ni ma'ata mivakesh. What do you want? I have a question to ask. Say, ask my son. Sha'al b'ni sha'al. He asked, why are the heads of the Babylonians? Rashi says two pshatim. Either they're not round, they're like square, or they're extremely round. My son, you have asked a great question. And the answer is, they don't have smart midwives. So when the baby comes out, the head is shaped like a cone or like square or like, it's not shaped properly. What? Midwives, you know what a midwife is? The woman who helps you give birth. The woman who gives birth. So they don't know how to reshape the head properly. Okay? He waited a while over there. He went back. Same disgraceful way of calling for him. Nitatef. He wrapped himself. My son, what would you like? I have a question to ask. Please ask. Sha'al. Why are the eyes of the Talmudian trutos? Why are they very soft? The eyes of the Talmudian. Now, if you remember, let me just see one thing if I'm right. I'm not sure if I'm right. Yeah. Do you remember that Ashetichin Regel Min Hashuk? That you have to light the menorah till the last people in the shuk. So the Gemara says, Ragle the Talmudoi. What is that? The feet of the Talmudoi. They used to sell wood chips. So people that needed fire, so they were the last guys out of the street. Remember them? These are the guys. These Talmudoi people. So, why are their eyes soft? You asked them a great question. If they should because they live amongst the sand. So Rashi explains that the wind blows the sand into their eyes. And therefore their eyes are very soft from that. Then he says another pshat. The Rashi says that trutos means round, which means the eye socket is round and not more like oval like ours. And why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu made them round so that because if they would be oval like ours, then the sand would be able to get into them. So Hashem made it in a way that the sand doesn't blow into their eyes. Let's continue.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
The Maharsha explanation on the Babylonian square. I'm looking down here in the commentary, and it says that a special Maharsha explanation on that, which I'm very interested to know.
Okay, I'm going to tell it to you. Bezrat Hashem, if I can. First of all, he says he specifically went when he was washing his hair. So he doesn't have a lot of time to answer him. So that way he'll be able to get him more upset. We should have less patience. Also, he didn't enter his house, knock on the door. He made him come outside. So he'll get him even more upset. And also he said, Hillel, who's Hillel? As if he never heard of the Nasi of Yisrael. Another way to get him angry. So now he says like this. Wow. I actually wanted to go through the Mashal this morning. I didn't have time. Thank you for the point. So, the Mashal says, I don't even know what he's going to say, but just the beginning is already amazing. He says, we just learned, mamish on this page, that when someone asks you foolish questions, right? It's a fool. The guy's bothering him in the middle of his bed, right? Why is this guy's eye like that? So it says you don't answer Ksil Kivaltoi. But here, Hillel didn't follow what Shlomo HaMelech says in Mishlei. He's answering him exactly. Why is he doing that? So he says because Hillel understood. He was such an Anov. He says, She'ela Gedoyla Sha'alta. I'm sure you're not coming to just bother me. You're so humble. I'm sure you're coming to ask Torah. The Gemara says, if it's Torah, then you answer him exactly. I'm sure you mean something in Torah here. He said, these are not Torah questions, Rashi said. You should have just thrown him out. Go drink a cup of wine. Knock him out. So, he says no, because Hillel was so humble that he said, I'm sure you mean Torah. You're disguising it with a deep, profound thought. What is it? He says, there are three terrible midot. Ruach Givaya, a haughty, high spirit, a bad eye, and an expanded nefesh, which means taiva, person that wants a lot. And the Talmidim of Bilam, the Mishnah in Avot says, they have all three, right? Bilam had all these three terrible midot. So he says, when you asked me about the heads of these Bavliim, I'm sure you meant their heads are so, what was his question? Skalgalot. Very large, big, round heads. You mean Ruach Gavoya. You mean haughtiness. So he says, and that's why the Gemara says that there are 4 reasons why rich people lose their money. The Gemara in Perek HaYoshin says, in Sukkah, one of the reasons is because they're haughty. And they're haughty over their brothers. So he says, now the Gemara also calls, when you lose your money, the Gemara calls the world like a Ferris wheel, a Galgal HaChayzer. This guy has money, and then watch him. In a few minutes, the guy that was on the bottom that didn't have money has money, but then this guy goes down. So he was asking him, why are the Babylonians losing their money? The rich people always being round, like on a Ferris wheel, like the Gemara calls it. So he said, what Aveira do they do? So he says, because they don't have midwives that are smart. Meaning, the Aveira is that they don't chayot pikot, they don't live pikot, smart. Meaning, their haughtiness always governs over them. Because anybody's haughty is a shaita, is dumb. And that's the bad midah that they have in Bavel. Like the Gemara says in Perek Beirer, that Gasut Ruach, haughtiness, came down to Bavel. That's number one. Isn't that amazing? Then he says, why are the eyes of the Talmudian? So he says, oh, you mean the bad eyes, Ayin Ra. So he says that the Dora Mabul, why were they punished? Because they went after their eyes. They had bad eyes. And they did znus with their eyes. And many times znut is called the eye, Mashal says. Like Shimshon went after his eyes. That meant znut. So he says, why are the people in Talmud so bad with this midah? So he says, because their eyes are trutos. Why are their eyes trutos? So he says, because they live amongst the sand. And he brings the Gemara in Yevamos that says, that choil, they live amongst the choil. They don't live amongst kedusha. And since they don't have kedusha and they don't protect themselves with gedarim and make filters on their internet or getting rid of their things, their televisions, they have no parameters. They don't make fences for the kedusha, therefore their eyes. And the last one, if they marag leim shel Afrikim, why are the legs of the Africans so wide? So Hillel said, oh, you must mean expanded soul, which means loves money. Like it says by Korach, the Eiskol Hayekum Asher Beragleihem. It talks about the money. It says what they were standing on their feet. Standing on good ground, I got a lot of money. Right? So the money sets a person up, stands a person on his feet, the Gemara says. Because the Gemara answers, Hillel said, because they live amongst the muddy waters.
Like the Indians.
And the Rasha says it's a hint to those who live amongst the Goyim. So they love money. Because Africa was the children of Canaan that left Eretz Yisrael. And Canaan commanded his children, it's a Gemara in Pesachim, love stealing and love money. So basically what he's saying is like this, if you live amongst the Goyim, that's why you suddenly have desire to love money. That's why we all love money here in America. Because we live amongst the Goyim. In America, the main thing is to make it big. To make it. You can make it. What is success in America? You can go to college and become a millionaire. So therefore we live amongst them. So we think that that's the purpose of life. Now HaKadosh Baruch Hu is stripping that away from everyone. And he's showing everybody that you thought the money's holding you up. You're standing on your money. Look how fast you trip. The greatest billionaires, the greatest companies, in 1 week, in the greatest economy, they're saying now, the greatest economy almost ever was in America, in 2 weeks became probably, maybe, the lowest in the history of America. In 2 weeks, because Baruch Hu just slipped it down. Bebitzei Amayim, in the muddy waters over here. Okay, that's the Marsha.
Rabbi, it's not a coincidence that literally, from talking about the times of Mashiach, right next to that.
It's amazing. It's amazing. What time is it?
It's 8:24.
Okay, so I want to run down now because at 8:40 I have to leave. B'ezrat Hashem. So the Gemara says, the last one, let's just read it inside. He waited another little while and he said, Mikan Hillel. Who's Hillel? Nit'atev. He wrapped himself again. V'yotzel l'krosoi. It's 3 times in the same shower. Omalei b'ni. He still greets him the same way. My son. Mata mevakesh. Omalei she'elu yesh li lishol. I have a question. Omalei she'al b'ni. Why are the African feet so wide? They live amongst the quicksand and the mud, and therefore Rashi says so that they shouldn't sink into them. And Rashi brings another pshat that they're since their feet are wide, and so they walk barefoot, and that way they're able to conform their feet with the mud instead of wearing shoes, which would force their feet to conform to the sole of the shoe. If Hashem made them walk barefoot and have wide feet that can maneuver properly amongst the mud. I'm not sure exactly what I'm saying, but that's what Rashi says. It sounds like it makes sense. Okay, so now these are obviously many secrets here, like we just saw in the Marsha. He quoted on each Gemara, quoted like 6 Gemaras. It's unreal. But anyways, the man himself is losing patience. He says, I have many questions to ask you, but I'm scared to ask you because I'm worried that you're going to get upset. He wrapped himself and he sat before him. All your questions you have to ask, please ask. Are you the hill that they call the Prince of Yisrael? Amalei, hey, yeah. If you're him, let there not be many of you in Klal Yisrael. Look how much patience. Someone would say that to you, you would say, Chas v'shalom. Now he doesn't say, he says, why? Maybe you have a good shot. Why? Because I lost. I just lost a bet because of you. Be careful with what you say, with your spirit. It's worth that for Hillel that you should lose 400 zuz and another 400 zuz, and Hillel shouldn't get upset. Which means you're worried about the 400, but it's worth 800 to lose, not to be upset. So now, this is very good musar right now for us. In the days before Pesach, it's very hard for a person to be an anav. There's a lot of pressure at home, especially this year. And that's a time, especially since everybody is cooped up together at home, and everybody's cleaning for Pesach, the last 3 days. It's very easy to lash out and to say something sharp to each other. So the Gemara is saying it's worth losing a lot of money and not to get upset. The Gemara is saying, be an anav. It's very hard. But this is what Hashem is giving us right here before Pesach. There's a story with a guy that came before Shammai. Amalo, kama torot yesh lachem. How many Torah do you have? Amalo shtaim, Torah shebechtav, the written law, Torah, the Torah shebal peh, and the oral law. Amalo shebechtav ani ma'amincha. I believe you on the written one. Shebal peh ani ma'amincha. I don't believe you. Gaireni, convert me. Amanat shetalamdeni Torah shebechtav. Convert me so that I can learn Torah shebechtav, the one that I believe in. Go boy. He screamed at him. Vehotzir ben Ezifo. And he brought him. He sent him out with like he was like excommunicated him, like get out of here. Balaf Hillel, he came before Hillel. Gaire, he converted him. Wow. And Rashi says, how could he convert a person like that? The halacha is in masechet Bechorot. Rashi asks a question that if a person wants to become a convert, he wants to convert, and he's willing to accept the whole Torah besides one law, you can't accept it. So this man, he wants to accept half the Torah, and it's really not even half the Torah; it's all the Torah, because if you don't accept Torah Shabbat, there is no Torah. So how could Hillel do that? So Rashi says, because Hillel knew that after he teaches him Torah, he'll understand. This guy wasn't being denying in the Torah. Just didn't believe that it came from Hashem. But Hillel said, once I explain him every law and show him how godly it is, I know he'll believe it. So therefore he was able to convert him. Yom Kama, one day, Amalei Alif Beis Gimel Dal. The first day, he told him, look, you ready? We're starting. Alif, Bet, Gimel, Daled. The next day he turned it around. Rashi says, for an example, he told him, Taf, Shin, Reish, Kuf. Yesterday he didn't teach it to me that way. One second. How do you know that what I told you yesterday was true? Because you relied on what I told you. So you rely on the Chachamim. So if you rely on the Chachamim, so you can rely on the rest of the Torah Shabbat. Okay? It's very simple. He's showing him the best way to prove to someone is that you yourself believe what I told you. Another story happened that someone came before Shammai. Convert me, right? On condition that you teach me the whole Torah while I stand on one foot. He was holding an amat abinyan, was like a big measuring stick that they measured buildings. He pushed him away with it. He said, go away. Gaire. On 1 foot. You ready? What you despise, don't do to your friend. This is the whole Torah. The idach pirushahu. It's just an explanation. Zil Gemara, go and learn it. It's an explanation of that halacha. Rashi brings the famous pshat that everything is about v'havta l'recha kamocha. Don't steal from your friend. Don't take his wife. And most of the mitzvot, Rashi says, really are the same topic. Don't bother your friend. Treat others as if you want to be treated. Rashi brings another pshat. He brings a pasuk in Mishnah in Proverbs. Re'acha v're'a ovicha al tazif. Your friend and your father's friend, don't forsake. If you have a friend in your family, you've been his friend for years, he's been your father's friend. He's been a family friend for so many years. Don't forsake him one day. You say, oh, I'm done. Who's that? You know who that is? Rashi says, Zeh HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't violate, transgress his words. Because you don't like if your friend would drop you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu's been your friend and your father's friend and your grandfather's friend all the years. He's been taking care of you. Would you like him to drop you? So don't drop Hashem. Then the friend over here, is the Eibishter. He's HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. That is what the whole Torah is based on. That's what Rashi is saying. The rest is just a pirush on that. That's what it is. Treat Hashem like he's your friend. Don't forsake him. Okay. There was a guy walking behind the Beit Midrash and he heard the sound of a Talmid Chacham. Beautiful. These are the begadim that you should make. The breastplate and the apron. Amar alol lemi. Who gets to wear these beautiful things? Amar loy. They told him, you know what the Torah is talking about? The Kohen Gadol. Oh, Amar. Oh, let me go and become a convert so I can get to wear these things. I want to become Kohen Gadol. Balifnei Shammai. Amar legareini amanashe testimeni Kohen Gadol. Convert me so that I become Kohen Gadol. The guy from Tennessee. Dachvo ba'amat binyan. He pushed him away with the measuring stick. Shabiyado. That was in his hands. Balofnei Hillel Gaire. Hillel said, no problem. You think we could just make you the king? If you don't know all the etiquette and the ways that the king has to act? Lech limud tachsisei malchus. Go learn all the ways of a king, which means you want to be Kohen Gadol. So go learn how to be Kohen Gadol. Holach v'kara. He went and learned the psukim. Kivin shegia, when he got to the pasuk ve'azdor hakarev yumat, a stranger which gets close to the kalim of the Beit Hamikdash and to the Kodesh Kadashim dies. Omalei mikra zel min nemer. Who is this speaking about? This pasuk that the stranger will die if he gets too close to the holiness. Amrulei, they told him, Afilu al David Melech Yisrael, even on David, the king of Yisrael, he's not a Kohen. If he goes in, he dies. Nata osoger kal v'chomer ba'atzmos. He made a kal v'chomer. Ma Yisrael shenekru barim lamokom. If Klal Yisrael, which are called the children of Hashem, umitoch ahava she'avem, and because of the love that he loved them, he didn't just call them his children. Kara lohem, right? B'ni b'chori Yisrael. You're not just my son, you're my son, my firstborn Yisrael. And that's why he killed the Bechorei Mitzrayim. K'tiv aleim ve'azor hakarev yumat. It says, even them, if they're not the Kohanim, if they come too close, they die. Gera Kal, the convert, the light one, Shabbat Makle comes with his stick, uvitamiloi, his pouch, alachat kama v'kama bol, alachat kama v'kama, how much more so could he not get close? I can't be a Kohen Gadol. Bol if they shamai, amalei klum lo yani li is Kohen Gadol, v'alek sibatei v'azar karev yumos. You should have just told me. Bol if they Hillel, amalei am v'stan Hillel yanuch lecha brachot arashecha. You humble man, Hillel. You knew that I was so off, but you took me in anyways. That's so humble of you. Let all the blessings be on your head. That you brought me close under the wings of the Shechina. Liyomim, days that came, few days. These three converts all met in one place. Amr, they said, the particularness, the upsetness of Shammai would have driven us from this world. We would have just gone back. And v'tanuta shel Hillel, but the humility of Hillel, keravnu tachat kanfei hashchina, brought us close under the kanfei hashchina. That's why when you have a Talmud, which are your children or your Talmidim, whoever you're teaching the ways of Hashem, you have to be an onav like Hillel. You have to be very, very humble with him. So even when you teach him things, be very humble and patient. Amr Shlokish, Mai dichtiv, v'haya emunat itecha, chosen yeshuot, chachmat v'dat. What does that pasuk mean? Do you want to translate it from the Art Scroll, Michael? Just the simple translation. This Gemara this coming Gemara is something that a person always, it's a famous Gemara, is from the Yesodot.
Sorry, Rabbi. Number 28, you mean? Sorry, this the one of Reish Lakish?
Yeah, just the simple translation of the pasuk. I'd like to say it properly.
The stability of your time and the strength of salvation is wisdom and knowledge.
The stability of your time, pasuk in Yeshaya, Isaiah, and the strength of your salvation. That's right now, right? How apropos is that? But it means in general. Just it's very apropos right now. Is chochmat v'dat. Now, this really means your whole life. You want stability of time, strength of salvation. Is chochmat v'dat. So the Gemara says these are very, very important Gemara. These are the this Gemara, and while we turn the page, are from the foundations. Foundations mamish. People in yeshivas, they know these Gemaras, these are mamish, the foundations. The Gemara says, Emunat zesei dezroim. Emunah, the stability, the faith, is referring to zeroim. The first one of the 6 sets of Torah Sheba'al Peh, Okay? Why? Because the Rashi says, how does a person give maaser? You're going to give maaser? You're going to give maaser properly? The rabbi tells you, no, you're off by 100 bushels. Oh, come on. Isn't there any leniency? So what do you really need to do it properly? You're giving away your money that you worked hard for. You toiled. You need emunah. That everything that you're going to get, you're going to get. And Hashem's not going to take anything away. Just do his mitzvot. So emunah Israim. Itecha, your time. Zu seder moed. To be explained. Because there's specific times. Shabbat is in moed. And every Yom Tov that has its specific time. Chosen. The strength. Which also means, Rashi says, inheritance. That's Nashim. They say the Nashim because through marrying a wife, you beget, you give birth, your wife gives birth to your inheritors. Yeshuot, salvation, they say the Nizikin. That's referring to Nizikin. Because what saves you? What saves you from harming and damaging others? Learning Nizikin, like the Gemara says elsewhere. If a person wants to become a chassid, pious, should learn Seder Nizikin. Because then he knows that it's not only when I smash your car I have to pay you. I know that I can't even maybe touch this without asking you. Everything. So he saves himself from a lot of harm. When he learns Nizikin, he learns, okay? Chochmat, the Seder Kachim. The wisdom. Because the Gemara elsewhere it's brought down Chochmel Yoina. It's way above us. We don't understand how blood on the Mizbeach helps and all these things of the Karbanot. But it's Chochmah, that's Kachim. Vidat, that is even higher than Chachma, is a Seder Taharot, of Tumah and Tahara. Okay? Ve'afilu hochi, says the Gemara. And even if you have all these 6 things which refer to basically the whole Torah, and you have the stability of your time, the strength of your salvation, and you have wisdom and dat, Yirat Hashem i'otro. The Pasuk says, the fear of Hashem is your treasure. That's the most important thing. As a treasure, in order to remember all these. When they bring a person into din, they tell him, after the person dies, Nasata v'natata be'emunah? Have you done business with faith? Or you found loopholes? Little loopholes in business. Because you didn't have faith that you're going to get what you need. And this really refers to what? Emunah. Emunah is, the first thing they're asking you is about Seder Emunah of Zroim. Kovata itim la Torah. Did you make time, which is moed, times for Torah? Asakta b'piri v'rivya, that's Nashim. Sipita li Yeshua, did you hope for the Yeshua, which is Nizikin, which is Mashiach, did you hope for him? And Rashi says, by Kavata Itim, that since a person has to do business, he has to set times for Torah. Otherwise, the business will pull him in to all sorts of different endeavors. So he has to set a time, that this is my time. Rashi is unbelievable Rashi there. Pipalta b'chachma. Will you mefalpel? Will you go back and forth in your chachma? In your kachim? Hevanta davar metoch davar. Did you understand a matter within another matter? Which is dat, which is taharot. Ve'afilu hachi. And even after they asked you all this and you checked off all of them, in. If your treasure is fear of Hashem, you're fine. Ilo lo. If not, you don't have anything. You have to learn Musar. We have to learn Musar. We have to fear Hashem. Whatever works of Musar you want to learn. Chovot halavavot, Mesilat Yesharim, Ochot Tzadikim, works, Hasidic works, Rab Nachum works, whatever brings a person to Yirat Shemaim. Mashal le'adam, she'amar le'shlucho. A person tells his messenger, Helali kurchitin le'aliyah. Bring up a kur. A kur is a huge amount. It's 30 saw of chitin to the attic, to store. He did it. you have to put in a small amount of salty earth. And if you put the salty earth, just one little kav, amongst a huge amount, you spread it across, that salty earth preserves it, that the worms don't eat up, they don't like coming to the salty earth. She said, you put that in? Amalei lav. I didn't. Amalei mutavim lo helitiya. It would have been better if you didn't bring it up. Because now that you brought it up, it's going to get all rotten in there. So if a person learns all the Torah the whole day and night, it would have been better that you didn't waste all your time with Hashem's Torah that's going to become rotten in you if you don't bring up a little Yirat Shamayim. A person has to set some time, a little bit of Musar every day. Tana de Rebbe, I don't know, or Rabbi Shmuel probably. When a person sells a kur of tvua, even though the weight and the volume is a kur, and it has that earth inside it, he doesn't have to worry. Why? If I sell you a kur of chitin, and then you go measure it out, and you say, excuse me, it wasn't a kur of chitin. It was less. I say, well, part of the kur is this earth that I stuck in. That's part of the measurement. You don't have to worry. And I didn't cheat you in the money, which means it's not ona. Ona means I didn't charge you too much, because you need that to preserve it. That's part of a kur. It's part of the package. And I think Reb Chaim Volozhin or Nefesh HaChaim, he writes a lot on this Gemara. But one of the things I think I remember, he says that the Gemara is also teaching you that a person might say, what do you mean? A person that learns the whole day, or even a person that doesn't learn the whole day, he learns an hour, 2 or 3 a day, he says, well, how could I take 15, 20 minutes to learn Musar? I'm saying, I only have, I got to learn Torah. It's the main mitzvah here. So the Gemara says, Ve'ein choshesh. Don't worry about it. You're not cheating off, just like in the mashal, you're not cheating in the deal. You're not cheating off your avodat Hashem, because you need that. So a little bit of mustar is very important every day in a person's life. Amar Rabbi Rafuna kolod v'shesh v'Torah. Is it 8:40 yet?
8:48.
Oy vey. Rabbi Yisai, Be'ezat Hashem, I will catch you up. Be'ezat Hashem, I'm not falling behind again, even though we did fall behind today. Be'ezat Hashem. Okay.